What's up guys, YGO Strats coming at you with a Hieratic Cyber Angel Tzolkin profile. Basically Cyber Angels with the ability to make Tzolkin in it. So without delaying, we're going to get into it. It's pretty damn consistent, and Herald of Perfection and Crystal Wing is a frightening board. But 3 Tefnuit, Cyber Dragon in the deck, and when it's tributed you can special summon a normal dragon from your deck, and its attack and defense becomes 0. The combo is summon one of your 3 Tefnuits, special summon Su by tributing it, and then Tefnuit's effect will activate to special summon one of 2 Labrodite Dragons from your deck. This will make an easy instant Tzolkin, and then you can set cards to make easy Crystal Wings. Pretty self-explanatory. This combo doesn't use your normal summon, which leaves you the ability to normal summon, say, a Manju to grab any monster or spell that is a ritual, and 3 Cyber Petit Angel, which is grab any Cyber Angel card from your deck, really. So, pretty solid combo right there. For the rituals, we're running 2 Dakini. Dakini's their current boss monster. They are getting one in Invasion Vengeance, I believe, but until then, Dakini gets the job done. When it's ritual summoned, you can make them them being your opponent, send 1 monster from their field to the graveyard. It doesn't target and it doesn't destroy, which is really great. All rituals will do piercing damage while it's on board, and for added incentive, during the end phase, you can grab 1 light ritual monster or ritual spell back from your graveyard to your hand. And actually, I think it's just any 1 ritual monster. It doesn't have to be light in this instance. So, pretty damn good. Recursion's always important, which is why we run 2 Saffira, Queen of Dragons. One of my favorite cards, personally. Really like the art on it. During the turns ritual summoned, or if a light monster was sent from the hand to the graveyard, during the end phase you can activate 1 of 3 effects. You can either draw 2 cards and discard 1, you can make your opponent discard 1 card from their hand to the grave, or you can grab 1 light monster from your graveyard and add it to your hand. You can bring back, say, Honest with that. You can bring back every monster in this deck with that effect, which can be pretty potent with other cards. We're just running 1 Herald of Perfection, 1 and done. It gets the job done by itself, not a problem. 2800 defense, you can discard a light fairy or a fairy monster to negate the activation of a spell card, trap card, or monster effect. It can really shut down the opponent's plays, especially when comboed with Crystal Wing and other such things. Just a really powerful card, and the 1 does get the job done thanks to the ability to bring it back with Saffira and other means. We're running a triple Benten with the Omnitrix here. Its on-field effect is that you can, when it destroys a monster by battle, you inflict damage to them equal to that monster's original defense in the graveyard. Not horrible, 1800 attack and 1500 defense, but the real beauty is that when it's tributed, you can add any light fairy monster from your deck to your hand. That means you can add any monster from your deck to your hand that isn't a Hieratic or Saffira. Everything in this deck is a light fairy except for those ones. We're also running 2 Idaten. Idaten's a pretty great monster. When it's summoned, you can grab 1 ritual card back from the graveyard into the hand, I believe it is, but really the main use for it is that when it's tributed, all ritual monsters gain 1000 attack and defense. This will bump up Herald to a 38 wall, and it'll bump up Idaten to a 3700 that makes everything do piercing. It can be pretty devastating, and the fact that they're all level 6 makes them really interchangeable with each other, other than Idaten, of course. But seriously, it just opens so many plays with Herald, Saffira, Idaten, and Benten all being level 6. So that makes the monster lineup for this deck. Getting right into the spells, we're going to be running 3 copies of Ritual Sanctuary. Really good card. You can discard a spell to add any ritual monster, light ritual monster, or ritual spell from your deck to your hand, so it adds a bit of consistency. And then for added incentive, you can shuffle any number of spell cards back into your deck, and then target 1 from your graveyard back into your deck, and then target 1 light fairy in your graveyard and add it to your hand. So with a level equal to the number of spells you shuffle. So basically, if you shuffle in 4 spells, you can grab a level 4 light fairy from your graveyard and add it to your hand. And it's any spell you can shuffle in Raigeki, you can shuffle in another Ritual Sanctuary, your ritual spells. It's seriously pretty devastating. We're also running 3 Machine Angel Rituals, sorry. Can summon any of these Cyber Angel monsters. And then, if it's in the graveyard, it's got a Gospel of the Revival of the Great Dragon Lord's effect. If a ritual would be destroyed, a light ritual would be destroyed. Actually, I think it's just a light monster or monsters. Yeah, light monster or monsters you control will be destroyed. You can banish this card instead. So if they were Geki, you can banish this to survive it. That's seriously pretty devastating. We're also running 2 copies of Hymn of Light. It's Saffira's ritual spell and mentions it by name, which means it's a pre-prep target. The benefit to this is that you can banish it from the graveyard, and if a ritual monster would be destroyed, you can banish it from the graveyard and it's not destroyed. So basically, it's another kind of Return of the Great Dragon Lord's effect. You got 5 of them between him and the Machine Angel ritual, which is pretty great. And then we're running 1 copy of Dawn of the Herald. It does require the exact level, which the other ones don't. They can go above. But it requires the exact level, which isn't an issue since everything from this deck is level 6 anyways. And then it is the benefit that when you summon Herald of Perfection using this card, you can banish it from the graveyard and then grab one of the monsters you use to tribute summon it to put it back in your hand. So basically you can summon Benten with it, get a search off, and then banish this and grab Benten back. So really offers up a lot of potential, or just in general will get, you know, the dragons back to do more shenanigans with next turn, or however it is you need to do it. So a lot of good potential with this card. We're also running 1 advanced ritual art. Thanks to running Labrodite, we can play this and its exact cost. Summon Herald, Saffira, any of them. Again, it's just any of the level 6s because it has to be exact, but it's not hard to come by. So easy to get any of our monsters on board with this card, and Labrodite makes it a little less, you know, possible to brick with it. Finally, we're also running 3 copies of Pre-Prep. Pre-Prep is awesome in this deck because it can grab Saffira or Herald. 3 targets, 3 pre-preps. You can't grab any of the Cyber Angels because they don't list Machine Angel Ritual, and Machine Angel Ritual doesn't list a specific name on the card. But Herald and Saffira are fair game with this, and it is a +1, so I mean, go to town. We're also running 2 copies of Seal of Convocation to search out the heretics we might need, 1 Terraforming to grab our field spell, 1 Preparation of Rites because it's just that good. You can grab any ritual monster from our deck other than, I believe, Idaten, and then any ritual spell backs just to, you know, keep the plays going. Got 1 Raigeki and 1 Twin Twisters rounding off the spell cards. That makes our full deck. No traps, but thanks to the number of spells, we keep our ritual spell, or our field spell, live. So for the extra deck, we're running 2 Ultimaya Tzolkin. Tzolkin's great. Well, there's another Synchro on board. It can't be destroyed by battle or card effect. And whenever you set a card, you can special summon 1 level 8 or 7 dragon Synchro monster from your deck. Or power tool, I guess, but that's irrelevant. Its stats are 0. It just kind of sits on your board in defense mode. You set your ritual spell, summon out a Crystal Wing or a Void Ogre or whatever, and then, you know, activate your spell card and summon out Herald of Perfection, Idaten, whatever. Saffira, just get the big boys on board and go to town. 2 just in case they get rid of the 1 and it's possible to make another. 2 is generally good in a Tzolkin deck. We are running 1 Leo. He's running it because Manju and Labrodite make level 10, and it's possible. It's a 3100 untargetable one during main phase 1, so it can be pretty troublesome. Generally, you don't need to go into your extra deck in this deck, so it's just an option. I've never really seen him go into it. For the Tzolkin targets, we got 1 Void Ogre. If you exhaust your hand, which you probably won't, but if you do, you can just summon Void Ogre to negate more spells with the Herald that won't be doing anything since you have no hand. More importantly, you got that 1 Crystal Wing in there, just negate monster effects, because why should your opponent play Yu-Gi-Oh? 1 Ignister in case you face the Pendulum matchup, or a 2850 beater if not. Scrap Dragon to pop your opponent's cards. 1 Spark to protect your cards. For the seed plays, we got 1 Utopia Beyond. Basically just summon it, make your opponent's monsters attack 0, and go for an OTK. All it really does. We got Ptolemy, 27 beater, and it can get stuff back from our graveyard to our hand or disrupt our opponent's graveyard plays potentially. You never know. We're also running 1 Strike Bouncer for the good old Strike Bouncer plays, negate and burn, absolutely. We're playing one of my favorite looking cards nowadays, is the Vampiric Dragon, Dragulus. Really solid card in general. You can detach 1 material from it and then target 1 monster that was special summoned from your opponent's extra deck and Book of Moon it, essentially. If it leaves the field by card effect, if you banish it, if you destroy it, however, if it leaves the field and is sent to the graveyard or banished, it is special summoned and face down defense by its own effect. And beautifully enough, when it is flipped face up, your opponent sends 1 card they control to the graveyard. Again, it doesn't target, doesn't destroy, seriously disruptive. If it's set and then, they bump into it with a Forerunner or something, you can just make them send Forerunner to the graveyard or Dark Destroyer or whatever, just because those are untargetable in general. Yeah, just a fantastic card in general. We're also running 1 Gaia Charger, just basically plop it on top of a spent Ptolemy or whatever and do some piercing damage to go for game. And we run 1 rank 4 in the form of emeralds, just in case we have 2 Manjus on board and we, put them on top of each other and recycle. It pretty much never happens, but technically it can, and that's a good use of, you know, your resources is just put those resources back in the deck. But that does make our Cyber Angel profile with the Tzolkin tech, the tweaks. So thank you guys so much for watching. Go ahead, leave a comment, tell us what you do differently. This isn't obviously the only version of Cyber Angels. There are more competitive and less competitive variants that you can play. I find this one's a pain in the butt to play against, so I definitely like his build and wanted to show it off. And we'll probably do another one because I've actually got another friend that plays this deck, and myself, I'm planning on building one myself as well, just to have a ritual deck, and again, because Saffira. But yeah, let us know what you guys think. Tell us what you do differently, what you do the same. Leave a comment, any other type of video that you'd like to see for us. Thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe. We'll catch you next time on YGO Strats.